Hey there, and welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug Season 5 review. And today we're going to be talking about the latest episode to drop, Collusion, which serves as a follow-up to the previous episode that we took a look at with Confrontation. Now overall, this episode for me, bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, I'm glad that they're starting to move things along a bit. On the other hand, some of the events of this episode, it almost drifts into parody levels of absurd. How do you take that ending seriously as something that could ever happen in real life? Or even in the confines of this cartoon world? It's just so stupid. Oh well, nothing else for it but to dive into the episode. Okay, so we start off the episode following old mate Gabe as he once again talks to Emily's preserved corpse, telling her that this time, for sure, he's going to be able to defeat Ladybug and Cat Noir and take the Miraculouses. And thus he's going to be able to use them to reset everything and save her, and himself, and Natalie as well. Sure, mate. Sure you are. At this point, it's pretty clear to me that he's permanently high on copium. I mean, the dude literally never ever wins. He constantly gets outclassed by a pair of teens and looks the fool at every chance he gets. The dude should just let himself disintegrate and save himself the shame. We then get a look at Natalie watching those recordings from Emily, where Emily keeps encouraging her to step in to help Adrien and let him live his own life. And I feel like this sequence pretty much makes it clear how the whole Senti children thing came about. Emily wanted kids but couldn't have them, and so Gabe tried to find a way and kept pushing and pushing, trying to find the miraculous, and eventually they did, but of course using it came at the cost of her own life. I'm really enjoying these little snapshots we're getting of Emily, because honestly, she does seem pretty great. Kinda hope she comes back. I mean, can't get much worse than Gabe, can it? Anyway, moving on. We then get a look at Adrien and Marinette as they act like cute little teenagers having their first romance. FaceTiming every chance they get, being all sweet with each other. Very wholesome. Hell, it's gotten to the point that her parents know to make him a snack and what snack to make, so she can take it with her for when they meet up. Oh, I gotta say, I really do love Tom and Sabine. They're just the best. Literally the best. But then it's from good parents to bad parents as Gabe brings up the move to London once again, only for Natalie to slap his ass down good and proper, which in turn inspires Adrien to tell him that his pancakes suck, both literally and also from the pancake metaphor that was in a previous episode. And I gotta say, how embarrassing. This dude seems to be making pancakes every day and he hasn't improved. Pfft, what a joker. On top of that, Adrien only wishes Natalie a good day before he storms off, and hell yeah, finally Adrien's standing up for himself. Somewhat. Yeah, it's a start. But God, Gabe's such a dweeb, isn't he? Although, like Plague says, Adrien still has more development to undergo in terms of standing up to his dad. Namely, telling him to piss off and that he's not going to go to London. And that he wants to stay in Paris with Marinette. Which, yeah, that feels like that's something that's going to crop up in the finale. So, we're getting close to that big blow up, where Adrien's finally going to lose his shit on Gabe and tell him what's what. Or at least, hopefully. The guy can dream, can't he? He then meets up with Marinette and they both lean in for the kiss. Eyes closed. Puckered up. Let's go! And then they falter, they blush, they back out, and in all honesty, whilst they shouldn't be pressured into doing things because that's wrong, at the same time, it is ridiculous that they're being so awkward. I think it's even more awkward and weird and odd to almost kiss so many times whilst you're already in a relationship. And then you just keep pulling away. It's like, ugh, it's visceral cringe. I get why their friends are so tired of it. Pull the trigger, the perfect moment, it's been and gone. It's been and gone. Good one. It's just needless torture at this stage of the game. When you've pushed mild and sweet Rose to the point that she is shouting at you in the street, you know for a fact you've become a public nuisance. These kids need to get a grip. Oh, especially when they're doing the cutesy talk and telling each other that they're perfect. No, you're perfect. No, you're perfect. No, you're perfect. Shut up! And on top of that, it's kind of boring writing. I mean, it's clearly just padding out the story, extending things beyond its natural endpoint. You know, that's what it is, if I'm being honest with you. They need to move on from this. It is tiresome and well and truly overplayed. We then move on to the class, and we see that Sabrina has well and truly turned away from Chloe and sits in Lila's old seat next to Nathaniel instead. Chloe then talks some shit to Marinette, and it's revealed that Lila's gone full psycho and created a little secret base type of thing. A secret base where she has her plotting board, on which is a way to ruin the lives of most of her key enemies. There's something wrong with this child, severely wrong. Like, who does this with their lives? What is the point? This is some serial killer shit. Moving on, we return to the class to see Chloe start to play music and act all disruptive, singing about how she doesn't care about school and learning, and that nobody cares about what Miss Bustier is saying. And then, when Ms. Bustier tries to intervene, Chloe calls Ms. Mendeleev, who's the new principal apparently. And she gets Ms. Bustier sent to the office. It's like, what? At a certain point, why does Alia even do the lady blog anymore? She should be posting shit about the absurdity that is the bourgeois family's grip on Paris. Expose these fools. Has nobody taken this blatant and obvious abuse of power further up the chain? Surely the government has a file on how many people Chloe has gotten akumatized. Secret Service, where you at? Arrest these people. Chloe then talks some tremendous shit to the entire class to the point that Ivan, it literally looks like he's about to punch her in the face. Which, I'm not a proponent for violence. I abhor violence. But this kid tests my resolve. At very minimum, her parents deserve actual prison time for creating this demonic freak. Anyway, as Miss Bustier comes back in, Chloe fakes getting slapped by Marinette and then tries to get her expelled because, sure, why not? Despite literally everybody in the class knowing for a fact that she's full of shit and lying, she can apparently get away with anything. And so, she gets Marinette expelled. And when Miss Bustier tries to appeal to her good nature, she accuses her of emotional blackmail and legit gets her fired too. And Miss Mendeleev just rolls over, just like that. Like, honestly, let's be real. Miss Bustier was a terrible teacher, and probably should be fired for negligence anyway. I mean, she did let it get to this point. But I think that's besides the point. This is still pretty messed up. And I'm pretty sure that the mayor is not the direct superior of a school principal. Like, I'm not French. But surely it's run by, well, according to Wikipedia, the Department of National Education, Youth and Community Life. Don't know how accurate that is, but that's what it says. And since it's a public school, you'd think that that would be the body to apply pressure. And I'm pretty sure that's run by the federal government, not by the head of the Paris Council. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the perception I'm getting, at least from my very, very limited research. But yeah, she's been fired in this universe. And Gabe tries to capitalize and is defeated by the power of breathing techniques, and so he scuttles off to a meeting with the mayor and Madame Tsurugi. Whilst at the same time, we get our first look at Miss Bustier's wife, partner, whatever. Anyway, her name's Giselle, and she seems nice. Loving the inclusivity. Although, would it really kill them to have one of the actual relevant characters be openly LGBT? Or at least in a successful relationship? Like, this feels like one of those, look over there, there's a lesbian, now shut up about it type of things. I mean, I don't need a big song and dance, but why does it always seem to be a super minor character, I feel? Whereas you're just endlessly baited by the bigger characters. They do endless bait and switch kind of stuffs, will they, won't theys, or unrequited love. It's been 5 seasons, man. Let's pick up the pace. So many shows have done it so much better in such shorter time frames. 2023. But let's move on. Chloe then calls her dad and requests that he gets Miss Bustier arrested, which, yes, okay, let's arrest the pregnant woman. That's fair and reasonable, isn't it? Sure, why not? I've changed my mind. Bring on the violence. Somebody toss this girl into the sewers, please. Next up, Gabe and Madame Tsurugi propose the absurd step of replacing human police officers with robotic drones. Okay, here's the point where if the mayor somehow agreed to this, which I don't think he has the authority to agree to this, the French Secret Service is going to assassinate him. And then they'll arrest the rest of these fools and just shut it all down. Robotic police? Robotic police, which are controlled by one person with a laptop, which can all be hijacked and turned into a private army. It sounds like the most idiotic thing of all time. How could you ever think this would work? On top of that, they want all the police officers in Paris to lose their jobs. Good way to lose an election, if you ask me. What planet are these people living on? And once again, is this even a thing that Mayor has power over? I do not think so. Chloe then bursts in and whilst filming on her alliance ring for Lila, tells Andre that he needs to arrest Ms. Bustier and ensure that none of her classmates are allowed to attend high school anywhere, ever, at all. Because once again, she's insane. And then using Lila's script, Chloe baits Andre and Gabe, saying that Andre's spineless and that if she were the mayor, she would ban all superheroes, and Andre seemingly gets beaten into submission. Lovely. Over on the houseboat, the class is pretty depressed. Damocles has been fired, Ms. Bustier has been fired, Marinette's been expelled, and they all discuss what they're going to do. And look, it's even more baiting for Julika and Rose, I tell you what. After all this, if nothing happens this season between them, it's going to be such a bad look. They've been teasing it so hard and just refuse to do it. They're decently major characters, with their own will they won't they. Come on. They even say here, oh, the end of your dance is the perfect time for kissing, and then they side-eye each other hard. Oh, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that front though. I don't want to be a, negative Nelly, but still. Meanwhile, back with Gabe, he goes to talk to Andre on the roof of the hotel, and we get some pretty good backstory as Andre reminisces from when they were young. Him and Gabe who made him his first suit, and Emily, and how they all used to hang out together and be happy even though they were poor. How it was Gabe that helped him get Audrey to notice him, and how he only got into politics to impress her, and he actually wanted to be a film director. On top of that, seems like he actually legitimately hates his wife and hates Chloe. Like, yeah, fair enough with the wife, because she is a terrible, terrible person, but my god, man, the daughter thing's your fault too. And then he goes on a rant about all the bad shit that he's done and makes up a hypothetical scenario of how it could all be worse. And then the dude finally grows a spine. He tells Gabe to fuck off, calls him a sellout, weird tech mogul obsessed with control, who pales in comparison to the man who used to make clothes to make people happy and make their dreams come true. And, then he just leaves. And so Gabe goes home and splices together a clip, edited to make it seem like the mayor's actually going to do all the awful things that he threw out as a hypothetical. Excellent revenge. And then he sends it out to Miss Bustier to try and weaken her resolve and make her easier to be akumatized. And, well, it works. Because, well, it's pretty self-explanatory as to why it works. This would be soul-crushing. So she turns into a villain who can turn people into balloon minions. And whilst this is going on, Gabe is playing 4D chess trying to set Chloe up as the savior of Paris, while at the same time it's clear that Lila and Chloe are also playing 4D chess against him. It's all heating up. Next, we move on to the only TV station in Paris, apparently, as Nadia What's-Her-Face interviews Mr. Banana. And apparently, not only does this dude have an autobiography out, but now they're making it into a movie. Also, I'm oddly angry that a biography about a banana man is named with a fruit pun, but not a banana pun. It's a peach pun. It's not related to bananas at all. What are you thinking, Mr. Banana? Oh well. But yeah, I need the deep lore on this guy. What would his autobiography even be about? Is it about the man inside the costume? Or is it a fully fictionalized account of the actual banana person? Is this like an Elmo situation? Where we're supposed to pretend he's real for the kids? By the way, sorry if I just spoiled you. Sesame Street monsters are puppets. I know. I am also heartbroken. Also, this show needs some spin-offs, am I right? I need a Banana Man movie. Also, I need the in-universe Ladybug and Cat Noir movies. The first one, and then the second one, where Cat Noir and Rena Rouge hook up. That'd just be so funny. I mean, it'll never happen, but it would be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, back to the episode. Ms. Bustier turns Banana Man into a balloon, then hijacks the program and plays Andre's spliced confession on air, which alerts the heroes and off they go, and the 4D chess game continues, with Gabe setting up Chloe to be the hero of the hour and Lila manipulating her to go along with her schemes as well. Ms. Bustier then marches on City Hall and massacres the SWAT team, which prompts Ladybug and Cat Noir to get involved and try to actively beat up on a pregnant woman. Damn. I don't think I could attack my beloved teacher, who I know is pregnant. I just couldn't do it. But maybe I'm not hero material. The fight goes on. Miss Bustier goes to find the mayor. Zoe's there, trying to convince her that Andre's not so bad. I mean, he is though, but sure, kid. Sure. They confront Andre. He gives her back her job instantly, which, okay. And then he fires himself, so he resigns. And then he leaves with Zoe. And apparently there was a cut scene where he disowns Chloe and tells Audrey he wants a divorce. Jesus, father of the year out here. Giving Gabe a run for his money, I tell you what. And then Chloe arrives with the Robocops and tries to arrest Ladybug and Cat Noir on live TV because they just tried to pull off a coup or something like that. Anyway, Chloe then has a news broadcast at the very end of the episode where she says that until they find a democratic solution, she's the new mayor. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Did the Paris Council just all quit at once? Where's the deputy mayor? Would it not be democratic for him to take the job or her to take the job, whatever? The position exists, I fucking googled it. What's going on here? How is a child just become the mayor? And how is she giving an address like it's the fucking Hunger Games here? Where's the Secret Service? Where's the federal police? The president should be putting a hit out on this kid. She's pulling off a coup and succeeding. She's a kid. She's used robotic police. She somehow put herself in charge. Where's the army? It's time for some jail time. It's just the weirdest plot ever. And then she outlaws Ladybug and Cat Noir. And yeah, that makes sense. Then she also outlaws Monarch. But it's like, what even is that? Surely someone had already outlawed Monarch. The dude's a terrorist. Like, duh. I need to lie down. So we're going to end things here. So with all that being said, these have just been my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What did you think of the episode? You like it? Hate it? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know.